Terminator cast, then and now. 2026, tragic deaths and heartbreaking real stories. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Back in 1984, at just 37 years old, Arnold Schwarzenegger stepped onto the screen as the unstoppable T-800 in the Terminator and instantly became the face of action cinema. By Terminator 2 in 1991, at age 44, he had turned the cold, relentless machine into a global pop culture icon, the ultimate symbol of strength and invincibility. In 2026, Arnold is 78 years old and still going strong. He remains active in business, fitness, public appearances, and his popular podcast, Arnold's Pump Club, continuing to inspire fans with the same larger-than-life energy that made him a legend. But behind the unbreakable image lies a far more human reality. Born with a congenital heart defect, he has endured multiple open-heart surgeries, including major procedures in 2018 and 2020, followed by a pacemaker implantation in 2024. He has also survived a serious motorcycle crash that broke 6 ribs and a later accident that fractured his femur.
But that's why I play around.
On top of the physical battles, a very public 2011 scandal revealed he had fathered a son with the family housekeeper, shattering his 25-year marriage to Maria Shriver, and leading to a painful decade-long divorce finalized in 2021. The man once called the Machine is now facing the one opponent no script could prepare him for time and the fragility of his own body. Even the Terminator, it turns out, is only human. Linda Hamilton. In 1984, at just 28 years old, Linda Hamilton appeared as Sarah Connor in The Terminator, a vulnerable waitress whose ordinary life was shattered overnight. By Terminator 2, Judgment Day in 1991, at age 35, she had transformed into the ultimate female action hero, battle-hardened, fiercely protective, and unbreakable. Her performance became one of the most iconic character arcs in cinema history. In 2026, Linda is 69 years old and continues to choose her roles carefully. She made a memorable appearance in Stranger Things in 2025, proving that the fire that defined Sarah Connor still burns. But the woman who became a symbol of strength on screen has carried deep private wounds for decades. Her father died when she was only 5. In her early years, she battled severe bipolar disorder, crippling depression, binge eating, and cocaine addiction as she tried to cope with anxiety and self-doubt. While filming the famous gunshot scene in T2, she suffered permanent hearing loss in one ear.
It's like, with that kind of crowd.
Her first marriage ended while she was pregnant, and her high-profile relationship with director James Cameron, which began on the set of T2, collapsed in a painful divorce in 1999 that included a $50 million settlement. She has spoken openly about years of suicidal thoughts and emotional chaos that nearly destroyed her.
It was quite the surprise, really, that they offered it to me.
The most powerful female hero in action movies turned out to be the one who fought the hardest battles in real life. Sarah Connor saved the future on screen, but Linda Hamilton has spent a lifetime simply trying to survive her own. Bill Paxton. In 1984, at just 29 years old, Bill Paxton burst onto the screen as the cocky street punk in the opening scene of The Terminator. Though it was a small role, his raw energy and unforgettable attitude made an instant impression, the first ordinary guy to discover that no one stands a chance against the Machine.
Right. First to Bill Paxton.
In 2026, Bill Paxton has been gone for 9 years. He passed away on February 25, 2017, at the age of 61, just 11 days after undergoing heart surgery on Valentine's Day to repair a damaged valve and an aortic aneurysm. The official cause was a stroke resulting from surgical complications.
And as we go on this huge invasion.
His family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in 2018. The case was later settled. The tragedy feels especially cruel because Paxton was at the height of a remarkable career. From Twister, nearly $500 million worldwide, to Titanic, more than $2.2 billion, he had become one of Hollywood's most beloved character actors.
An honor to be the closing night film. This is the
He remains the only performer ever killed on screen by a Terminator, an alien, and a Predator. At the time of his death, his net worth was approximately $40 million, and he was still actively working on major projects. The man who brought so much life and humor to every scene was taken suddenly right when everything seemed to be going right. In the end, real life proved far more ruthless than any villain the Terminator franchise ever created. Robert Patrick. In 1991, at just 32 years old, Robert Patrick delivered one of the most chilling performances in sci-fi history as the liquid metal T-1000 in Terminator 2, Judgment Day. With his cold stare, relentless pursuit, and shape-shifting menace, he didn't just play a villain, he redefined what a movie monster could be, making the T-1000 even more terrifying than Arnold's original Terminator.
You okay? Fine.
In 2026, Robert Patrick is 68 years old and still working steadily. He has appeared in major television series such as Peacemaker Scorpion and The X-Files, proving time and again that his intense screen presence remains as sharp as ever.
Could if you were here. Took off on his bike this morning.
Yet the man who portrayed the ultimate killing machine has fought some of the darkest battles off-screen. In 1984, the same year the Terminator was released, Patrick nearly drowned during a boating accident on Lake Erie. He swam for hours trying to save others before being rescued. That brush with death pushed him to move to Los Angeles and start over from nothing.
There. Well, that was pretty much what the audition was.
Early in his career, while struggling to survive in Hollywood, he battled alcohol abuse, a quiet fight that threatened to derail everything he had worked for. The perfect assassin on film turned out to be a very human actor who had to conquer his own inner demons before he could build the steady, respected career he enjoys today. Even the most unstoppable force in Terminator 2 learned the hardest lesson of all: the toughest enemy you'll ever face is the one inside yourself. Edward Furlong. In 1991, at just 13 years old, Edward Furlong was plucked from obscurity to play John Connor in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Overnight, the troubled kid from a broken home became one of the most recognizable child stars on the planet, the boy destined to lead humanity's resistance against the machines. In 2026, Edward Furlong is 48 years old. After years of public struggles, he has been quietly rebuilding his life far away from the spotlight. His story is one of the most heartbreaking in the Terminator family. Growing up without a father and with his mother losing custody, he had no stable foundation when sudden fame arrived. By his early 20s, the pressure became too much. Between the ages of 22 and 26, he fell into heavy heroin and cocaine addiction. What followed was a painful spiral. Multiple lawsuits, domestic violence arrests in 2012 and 2013. A divorce from his wife, Rachel Bella, that included a restraining order and court documents showing their young son had tested positive for cocaine. He served jail time, lost visitation rights, and watched nearly everything he had earned slip away.
Right, just Eddie. Okay.
Yet in 2017, he finally entered a structured recovery program. By 2022, he announced 4 full years of sobriety and even underwent dental reconstruction to repair the damage caused by years of drug use. The boy who was supposed to save the world on screen nearly destroyed himself in real life. Edward Furlong's journey is a stark reminder that sometimes the hardest battle isn't against Skynet, it's against the darkness inside your own mind. Michael Biehn. In 1984, at just 28 years old, Michael Biehn delivered a heartfelt performance as Kyle Reese in The Terminator. Sent back in time to protect Sarah Connor, his character was the ultimate soldier, brave, loyal, and willing to sacrifice everything for a future he would never see.
Elaborate scheme with the Terminator.
It had no
His emotional depth helped turn a low-budget sci-fi film into a cultural phenomenon and made Kyle one of the most memorable heroes of the franchise. In 2026, Michael Biehn is 70 years old. He still works selectively, appearing in independent films, television, and the occasional big project, while enjoying a quieter life away from the spotlight he once shared with James Cameron's biggest hits. But the man who played a hero who gave his life on screen has faced his own painful sacrifices in real life.
Infiltration unit. Part man, part machine.
Biehn struggled with alcoholism well into the mid-2000s, a battle that quietly slowed his rising career. Around 2008, he suffered a stroke, followed by heart surgery, forcing him to step back and reevaluate everything. He also watched major opportunities slip away, most notably being passed over for roles in projects like Avatar.
Which was a real sweetheart of a guy.
One of the sharpest disappointments came when his beloved character Corporal Hicks was killed off early in Alien 3, a decision that frustrated him so much he demanded payment even for the use of his likeness. The soldier who sacrificed himself to save humanity in the movies ended up sacrificing parts of his own health and career in real life. Michael Biehn's story is a quiet reminder that sometimes the greatest battles happen long after the credits roll. Lance Henriksen. In 1984, at 44 years old, Lance Henriksen brought quiet authority and street-smart grit to the role of Detective Hal Vukovich in The Terminator. As Lieutenant Traxler's partner, he was the grounded cop trying to make sense of impossible murders, a small but memorable presence that helped anchor the film's human side amid the sci-fi chaos. In 2026, Lance Henriksen is 86 years old and still working. He continues to appear in independent films, lend his unmistakable voice to animation and video games, and meet fans at conventions, a remarkable testament to a career that has now spanned more than 6 decades. But the toughness he showed on screen was nothing compared to the life he endured before he ever stepped in front of a camera.
That? Sarah Ann Connor, Secretary, 35.
Henriksen grew up in extreme hardship, abused, neglected, and essentially abandoned as a child. He dropped out of school early and remained completely illiterate until he was nearly 30 years old. With no formal education, he taught himself to read the only way he could by recording film scripts on a tape recorder and memorizing every line by listening to them over and over.
In Texas. I was on my way to Houston, but
Before acting, he drifted through manual labor jobs, lived rough, and survived on sheer willpower. The man who played one tough detective after another has lived a real-life story more brutal than any character he ever portrayed. Even at 86, Lance Henriksen stands as living proof that the hardest battles are often the ones fought long before the lights come up. Joe Morton. In 1991, at 44 years old, Joe Morton delivered a powerful and deeply human performance as Dr. Miles Dyson in Terminator 2: Judgment Day. The brilliant Cyberdyne scientist whose revolutionary work unknowingly paved the way for Skynet's rise became one of the film's most tragic figures, a man whose intelligence and good intentions helped bring about the end of the world.
I don't know how much longer I can hold this.
In 2026, Joe Morton is 79 years old and remains actively working in film, television, and theater. His talent earned him a Primetime Emmy Award in 2014 for Outstanding Guest Actor in Scandal, proving that decades after T2, he is still respected and in demand. But behind the steady career lies a quieter, decades-long struggle. As a black actor in Hollywood throughout the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, Morton was repeatedly confined to supporting roles even though his range and skill were unmistakable. While he consistently delivered strong performances in films like Speed and later television hits, the industry was often slow to offer him leading opportunities.
Was probably brother from another planet, John Sayles.
Right.
The irony remains striking in the movie. His character created the technology that would destroy humanity. Yet in real life, he had to fight for simple recognition and the chance to show everything he was capable of. The man who gave the world Skynet on screen spent a lifetime battling for respect in an industry that too often looked past him. Even the creator of Judgment Day had to prove again and again that he belonged. Paul Winfield. In 1984, at 45 years old, Paul Winfield brought calm authority and quiet dignity to the role of Lieutenant Ed Traxler in The Terminator. As the veteran LAPD officer trying to piece together a string of impossible murders, he gave the film its human center, the steady voice of reason amid growing chaos. In 2026, Paul Winfield has been gone for more than 2 decades. He passed away on March 7, 2004, at the age of 64 after suffering a heart attack. The loss followed years of struggling with obesity and diabetes conditions that ultimately proved too much even for a man known for his strength on screen. The tragedy ran deeper. Just 2 years earlier, in 2002, his longtime partner, Charles Gillen Jr., had died from bone cancer. The couple, who kept their relationship private in an era when few in Hollywood could, were laid to rest together at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Los Angeles. A trailblazing black actor who earned an Oscar nomination for Sounder 1972 and later won an Emmy, Winfield faced industry barriers throughout his career, yet always delivered performances defined by quiet power and professionalism.
Some of the things that they've had to...
The calm, composed detective who tried to hold everything together in The Terminator could not defeat the health battles he faced in real life. The man who stood as a symbol of steady authority on screen was ultimately brought down by the silent, relentless enemies inside his own body, a heartbreaking reminder that even the most composed heroes are only human. Earl Boen. In 1984, at 43 years old, Earl Boen first appeared as the skeptical psychiatrist Dr. Peter Silberman in The Terminator. He returned in Terminator 2: Judgment Day at age 50, and even reprised the role in later films, becoming one of the very few actors besides Arnold Schwarzenegger to appear across multiple installments of the franchise. With his calm, dismissive tone, he perfectly captured the voice of doubt, the man who refused to believe Sarah Connor's terrifying warnings about machines from the future. In 2026, Earl Boen is no longer with us. He passed away on January 5th, 2023, at the age of 81, after being diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in the fall of 2022. He spent his final days in Honolulu surrounded by family. The loss carried extra heartbreak. In April 2001, his first wife, actress Carol Keen, had died from ovarian cancer at just 58. That devastating blow left him shaken for years. He quietly rebuilt his life, remarried in 2008, and built a respected second career as a prolific voice actor in major video games, including long-running work in World of Warcraft. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at around $5 million, a modest sum by Hollywood standards, yet earned through decades of steady, dignified work. The man who played the doctor who didn't believe in Terminators ultimately faced the most ruthless enemy of all real illness that no amount of skepticism could stop. Even the voice of doubt could not outrun the one threat no script had prepared him for. Franco Columbu. In 1984, at 43 years old, Franco Columbu made a brief but unforgettable appearance as a future Terminator in The Terminator. The legendary bodybuilder's massive physique and commanding presence needed no dialogue. In just seconds of screen time, he helped sell the terrifying idea of an entire army of unstoppable machines. In 2026, Franco Columbu has been gone for more than 6 years. He passed away on August 30th, 2019, at the age of 78. While swimming off the coast of his beloved Sardinia, he suffered a sudden medical emergency linked to heart complications. He drowned before he could reach the hospital. His real-life story was one of the most dramatic in the entire cast. Born into crushing poverty on the Italian island, the son of poor shepherds, Columbu was small, frequently bullied, and had to fight just to survive. He escaped through boxing, winning more than 30 matches, and later bodybuilding, where he became one of the strongest men on earth. A two-time Mr. Olympia, 1976 and 1981. He overcame a devastating knee injury in 1977 that nearly ended his career, then returned to win again. For decades, he remained Arnold Schwarzenegger's closest friend and training partner.
So I just want to start off right away and just say,
the man known as one of the most powerful physical specimens in Hollywood, the super muscle who looked like he could defeat any machine, was ultimately betrayed by his own body. The strongest Terminator on screen could not defeat the one enemy no amount of iron or willpower could stop. Even the mightiest among us are only human. From the unstoppable Arnold Schwarzenegger to the quiet strength of Lance Henriksen, the cast of Terminator and Terminator 2 gave us heroes and villains we'll never forget. Yet in 2026, their real stories reveal a truth far darker than Skynet's sudden deaths, hidden illnesses, addiction, heartbreak, and the slow toll of time. Some left us too soon. Others continue fighting battles the cameras never showed. Fame may have made them legends, but real life proved far more ruthless than any machine. Which cast member's journey shocked you the most, and why? Drop your thoughts below. Fame legends, excellence.